1. So here's Andrew McCutchen, first pitch of the ball game, and it's hit sharply to second. Nice play by Barmes. Still got to hustle because the guy running absolutely flies. That was a one-hop bullet, and Barmes throws out McCutchen.
Well, he really gets out of the box well for a right-handed hitter. This is a one-hop line drive. Barmes cheating up the middle a little bit, able to backhand plant, and then he allows him to make a much stronger throw when he can get on the backside of his foot to the backside of the body and shift that weight and then make a very strong and accurate throw. Boy, he can run.
Yes, he can. 1 pitch, 1 out. Here's Nyjer Morgan. And that pitch is off the plate, ball 1. Let's tell you about the umpires. Eric Cooper is behind home plate as you look at Morgan. At first base, Mike Riley. Second base, Chuck Merriweather. And third base, Laz Diaz. Good group. They've been around a while.
I've been together for a long time. Chuck Merriweather and Riley, 2 veteran umpires that have worked an awful lot of games at the big league level, a lot of postseason games.
Here's the 1-1. That's a good pitch. I guess not. Just off the plate. 2-1. Morgan scuffling a little bit with the bat. Just 194 his last 10 ball games. And he fights this one off foul. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pirates a 500 club over their last 10, 5-5. They have lost 5 consecutive ball games, though, at Coors Field, and they're coming back in August. Two-two. There's that curveball. See you later.
Now, I really felt like he would be able to hold back on the breaking ball if he was able to place it, maybe not that far onto the back foot, but to be able to put it where he did. And again, it's just the commitment, thinking about a fastball. It's the arm speed, the rotation of the baseball. Good 4-seam down rotation on the curveball. And yep, he did commit with the bat. A correct call by Eric Cooper. Great illustration of it here on a side shot of what he did. Tried to sell it. Came up empty-handed.
That is a hard overhand curveball, and that is a hard overhand slider. Freddie Sanchez, who doesn't swing and miss much. He is a very good contact hitter. He missed that pitch by 8 inches, George.
Let's see what he does now. If he goes back slider or goes fastball. So you want to go fastball, but you don't want to go that far in. You want to get to the outside corner.
That's an out. Freddie Sanchez tagged by Helt. What a play by Tulowitzki. That's a 7-pitch inning. Well done by Jason Hamill. First inning, the Rockies ready to go on offense. Dexter Fowler will lead it off tonight for Jim Tracy. And he'll be followed by Clint Barnes, Todd Helt, Brad Hopp hitting behind Helt, then Tulowitzki in the 5-hole again. Ian Stewart, Carlos Gonzalez, Chris Iannetta, and Jason Hamill. And the Fidelity scouting report on the former 3rd-round pick of the Atlanta Braves, Charlie Morton.
Hey, take a look at the fastball. It is big. 90-96, 79-83. The slider and the curveball both have very similar break in action to them. He just adds velocity on the slider to bump it up in the 83-mile-an-hour range. He likes to work up into the zone with his fastball. Sinker at 90, not called a strike.
You know, George, every once in a while when you and I are not real familiar with a starting pitcher, we'll watch, like the players do, we'll watch the video in the clubhouse. And you and I both did that, and I came away with an opinion. I want to check with you because you're the expert. I said, this guy has really good stuff, but he doesn't throw many strikes.
Exactly. That's been his biggest problem when he came to the big leagues. That's why he has struggled at the big league level record-wise. 4-8, earned run average around 6. In 75 innings, he's walked 41. And he has only struck out 48, but he has tremendous stuff. You see that? I mean, there's a sinker that just bites like a bullet straight down at 91 miles an hour.
Yeah, I mean, that was nasty in terms of movement, but again, it was out of the zone. Dexter being patient. He's had 3 and 1 now.
That's the thing that happens to a lot of kids that come to the big leagues that are successful at the minor league level. Guys swing at pitches out of the strike zone an awful lot that bounce into the dirt, high fastball. That they go after pitches that necessarily that the guys here are not going to go after.
This ball up the middle. Freddie Sanchez, nice looking play. He's a ball player. Freddie Sanchez is a ball player. Good offensively, underrated defensively. He's made 1 error all year. Morgan, McCutchen, and Moss in the outfield. The LaRoche brothers on the corners. Wilson and Sanchez up the middle. Very sound defensively. And behind the plate tonight, Jason Jaramillo. 1 out after that fine play by Freddie Sanchez. Another good second baseman, Clint Barmas, steps up. Say one more note about Sanchez defensively. His 1 error this year, as I just mentioned, that came on a pop-up. He has not booted a ground ball or thrown a ball away yet this year. That's the sinker. That had Brandon Webb movement.
Yeah, it does. I mean, a big dive. He threw one to Dexter.
Well, if the Rockies do as they did last night, everybody will be happy after the ball game. That is, score 7 runs and win. If the Rockies do score 7, go to Taco Bell between 4 and 6 the following day. 4 tacos for $1 with the purchase of a drink. 0-2, shattered bat. It's caught by Morton. 2 outs.
Well, on Undecam, you're going to look exactly what happens. You get a boring fastball in on the hands of a right-handed batter, and that ball is just driving in on your fist. Full swing by Barmas. Flight of the ball about 10-15 feet.
Todd Helton, a big night last night. He had 3 hits, including a pair of doubles. Now just 12 doubles shy of 500. And he fouls this pitch off. Get this, the month of June, tonight is June the 20th, the Rockies have scored 100 runs, which is the most in the National League, by 13. How about those numbers for Todd? Pretty steady. One ball, 1 strike. Their .285 averages tops in the National League. Their 24 home runs is second to the Phillies' 27. 2-1. And I don't think they're, you know, I go back to what Jim Tracy said yesterday. I don't think they're firing on all cylinders yet.
Well, yeah, I do agree with him on as far as average is concerned, bunching a bunch of hits together in innings. But it sure is a whole lot better than what it was.
Oh, no question. That's at the top of the strike zone, evidently. That was a sinker also. It was obviously up. That was a 2-seamer. 91 miles an hour with that pitch. It's 2-2. 2 outs, nobody on. And that was a very hittable breaking ball. Here's Todd's night last night. Off the base of the wall for a double. There's a single, and then he pulled the double. Foul line to foul line work last night for Helton. 2-2, that's inside. Looked like he cut that a little bit.
Well, that's a slider that he'll work around a little bit, but I mean, a cutter at 95, that's a huge amount of velocity. He does have that type of arm. I mean, he can do that.
And Todd lines it foul. Yeah, he pitched 13 pitches, George, in his debut in Atlanta for Pittsburgh. He played in the big leagues last year with the Braves. So he's pitching against his old club, and he felt tightness in his hamstring, so he pitched 1 inning, and then he missed his next start. So this is really, for the Pirates, their first, they hope, good look at Charlie Morton, one of 3 players they got in the Nate McLouth deal.
Well, they absolutely do. When you say they have one good look at him, they want to have a whole bunch of good looks at this guy. They think he has a great stuff, has the ability to do it. 0-0 at Coors Field.
In the direction of Perry Hill, is a great infield instructor. Our partner Jeff Houston loves to brag on Perry's abilities as a teacher of infield play.
Probably the best in the business. Perry Hill, he is tremendous.
That's a strike on the corner, 0-2. Hamill carries himself, George, like a guy who's throwing the ball with a lot of confidence right now.
Well, he should. I mean, the way he's pitched, he's won 4 straight. He's been around the strike zone. I mean, he realizes that his stuff is overpowering, went into the zone. There's another example of the changeup at 85 and another strikeout. Let's take a look at this. Because of the off-speed pitch, a lot of times his change dies. I look change up on the board. Change here. Never had that hook on his front side over there, but boy, he sold it, and really what they used to say, folks, pulled the window shade. Well, the green packs, they're available. Rockies fans, purchase a green pack, help out the environment while enjoying a day at the ballpark. You get 2 tickets for $20, and $5 of each of those packs sold will go to the Wood for Wood tree planting program. Available during the July Green Week. That is July 6th through the 12th. So go to ColoradoRockies.com for your green pack.
2-0 on Andy LaRoche. Andy's average at 277. He's hitting .319 in his last 19 road games. See, that's what Hamill has. That's one of the reasons the Rockies were very intrigued by him. He was in that battle with Jeff Neiman for the final spot in the Tampa rotation. He's got enough fastball, George, that even if you're sitting on a 2-0, he can beat you with it, just like he did on the previous pitch. And even that one, I mean, the road's sitting dead red, and the fastball at 93 with some movement got in on his hands.
Well, look at this pitch coming right out of the hand here, and you're going to see this late movement, what Drew's talking about on the Hyundai cam. See, anytime the ball rides and starts to pour in or ride in on a hitter, See, I can always tell by hitters that aren't seeing the ball really well out of a pitcher's hand. You see him lean forward, second guess, flinch of the knees. Tells you an awful lot about what they're looking at, what they're trying to see coming out of the hand of a pitcher.
Yeah, Brad Hopp's going to have to give up on this one. It's back with the spectators. And a lot of folks had to run underneath during the light rainfall earlier, but we have another great crowd on Saturday night. I know more than 40,000 expected tomorrow for Father's Day. And a lot of people have Rockies fever in town, and it's a wonderful thing.
As they should.
Yeah. Here's the 3-2 again, and a bullet, and that's a base hit. So the first base runner of the ball game. LaRoche reaches with one out, and that'll bring up Brandon Moss.
Let's take a look at this pitch here. It's a fastball that just stayed back to the middle. What the hitter did a nice job of, I thought he did, was he just stayed back on the back leg and just took it straight ahead. He freed up his front side to allow the ball to get right back into the little deeper into the zone, but allowed him to get his hands through on the inside part. So LaRoche comes up with a base hit and one out in the inning.
And that'll bring up Brandon Moss. Brandon Moss, another one of those kids out of the state of Georgia.
Imagine that. It's a dogfight every year for the players coming out of high school there between Georgia Tech, Georgia, and the pro baseball teams, because so many great players have come from that state.
Moss was originally selected in the 8th round by the Red Sox in 2002.
Amateur summer team down there, East Cobb, starts teams at a very young age, 14, and just let them grow.
Deep to left field, and it's over the head of Gonzalez, and a green light for LaRoche. Here's a throw to the plate, and it's not in time. So a run scoring double for Brandon Moss.
And again, I don't think they anticipated him hitting the baseball this far to left field with that much authority. One home run so far in the year. Gonzalez going back thinking he had a catch on the baseball. It's played off the wall. Now ricocheted out a little bit farther off the wall than what it normally would do. Perfect relay. He found Tulowitzki on the hop, and at Tulo's strongest arm in the infield comes right at home plate area. You can see him slide through, and the shoe come right over the top. Iannetta had it partially blocked.
Popped up. Help calling for it. And Todd makes the catch. Yeah, George, you and I are around kids a lot playing the game. Now, your youngest son is obviously in professional baseball now, but it's one of the pet peeves of mine. A lot of times, ball goes up with young kids in the infield, and you'll hear them call it once. I got it. You need to repeat it several times, because other guys may think they can get it too.
Well, absolutely, and particularly as you get a little busier crowds and then get into the high school ranks a little bit higher than that, you're going to deal with it even more. You're going to hear a lot of people saying, I got it. Let's listen in to Todd.
That was 4 of them. That was 4 of them to let Barmes know, and if Tulowitzki could get close, that it was his baseball. 1-0 on Jack Wilson. Moss at second. That's in there for a strike.
The worst thing that happens is when nobody talks and everybody starts to look at each other and the ball drops in front of you or in between you. That's not a good thing.
Wilson hit his second home run of the year last night against Marquee. That bounces up there. Good block by Iannetta. Windshield damage. Call Colorado's #1 team. Elite Safelite Auto Glass. 303-287-5000. Online at safelight.com. 1-0 Pittsburgh here in the top of the second. Single with one out by Andy LaRoche. In an opposite field long double off the bat of Brandon Moss. He's currently situated at second base. That was his first ribby since June 6th. That levels the count 2-2 on Wilson. Thousand Oaks, California. Quite a high school soccer player. Could have been a place kicker in major college football as well, but he opted on the baseball route. Good athlete. Got it. Good pitch by Hamill. Wilson tosses his bat away. Brandon Moss with a double, and the Pirates have the first run of the night.
On deck here in this inning. I talked to Tulo about what's been so effective for him in the last couple of weeks. He's hit 5 home runs in the last 11 games, and he said the best thing that's happened for me is I'm finally taking what I'm doing in the cage and transferring that to what I'm doing in the game. I've been working on 2 different things in terms of mechanics. He said, first of all, my stance. We've talked a little bit about Jim Tracy wanting Tulo to stand up straighter. He has a 6', 3-foot frame, and he was crouching down a little bit too much. He wants him to stand up taller in the batter's box. Another thing is his swing. Tulo told me that he's swinging with a lot more rhythm. He has a lot more calmness with his swing. Obviously, it is paying off as he's been able to transfer that from the batting cage inside out here to the game, guys.
Yep, Tulo has swung the bat exceptionally well. And with runners in scoring position, George, he's not as over-anxious.
Well, he's had some big results. I mean, the big home runs and stuff. But all he's trying to do is just hit the ball hard, be patient, to find my strike zone where I can do the most damage.
That's a nasty changeup, and it's 1-2. Morton has shown 4 quality pitches.
That sinker's been most impressive.
Yes, it has.
And look at his minor league record. I mean, it's like 31-46.
Strike 3 on the corner. So Brad Hopp is gone. Back-to-back strikeouts. And that'll bring up Tulowitzki.
Now look at this big-time sinker just run back almost the full width of the plate, 18 inches. Tough pitch to handle there. Thought it was down, thought it was out.
last night Tulowitzki hit a home run again. He's been hitting them in bunches. This was his 10th of the year. And you know you're staying on the ball when you're in the middle of the field. Tulowitzki's last 2 home runs have gone over the center field wall here at Coors Field.
Hard to lift that type of a pitch right there, though, Drew. That is a very difficult pitch to get up into the air simply because of that very, very hard sinker.
He went heater, then changeup, and there's the sinker again. He hasn't thrown, in my memory, George, and it's obviously just 24 pitches into the game. I don't know if he's thrown a fastball back to back. He's mixing.
Well, I think he has, Drew, but what he's done, he's backed off velocity-wise. Yeah. He'll show one at 86, 88, and then all of a sudden, bam, here's 95, and he'll go back to 91.
He's kept the Rockies off balance so far.
The last couple of years in the minor leagues, 5-2 of the 205 over 12 starts with Richmond in 08. This year, he had gone 7-2 with a 226 earned run average.
That was at Gwinnett County, the AAA affiliate of the Braves.
Well, it's owned by the Atlanta Braves, just like their A-ball team Rome is owned by the Atlanta Braves. More and more teams are doing that. The Cardinals own their AA team. They own their A-ball clubs.
Fastball away, 3-2. And a good at bat. So Tulowitzki reaches the Rockies' first base runner, 1 out in the second. And that'll bring up Ian Stewart.
Don't forget about the fireworks ball game coming up. The Diamondbacks. That's right. The Arizona Diamondbacks will be in town July 4th. Stay after the ball game. Watch the best fireworks anywhere, courtesy of Coca-Cola and King Soopers. 1-800-388-ROCK, or just go online to ColoradoRockies.com or stop by one of the ticket outlets and pick it up for the July 4th fireworks game.
Ian Stewart at the plate as Tulowitzki draws the throw. Stewart 2 for 16 on the homestand. Hitting .288 overall in the month of June and bring his average up to .219. Leads the club with those 12 home runs. Tell you what, McCutchen, George, not playing very deep at center field. Now, he can go get him. We know that with his speed. He did it last night against Jason Marquis, who launched one to the track in center on a line that he turned his back and chased down.
Well, it's 415 to dead center. He's probably setting at about 300 feet, 275 to 300 feet to where he can get back on a baseball. But he does very good at going back and comfortable doing that. I think at Coors Field, I think it plays into Rich Donnelly's hands as their one of the assistant coaches, so to speak, for the Pirates, who coached here for Jim Leland, stuck around a little bit with Buddy Bell, that had theories about that.
This ball hit high in deep right field. A lot of topspin on it. He's going to short hop the wall. Tulowitzki gets a green light from Rich Dower. Tulo to the plate. Here's the throw up the line. Tie ball game. Ian Stewart with a double to right. First hit of the night for Colorado.
It's great when you come back and make a walk hurt you. As a team, whenever a starting pitcher walks a guy with 1 out to get in position, this ball realized off of the bat by Tulowitzki that it's smoked and it's going to get out over the head right field. And it's just off to the races right after that. See Tulo over the screen. Then all of a sudden this ball getting out up against the wall in right center field to throw in by Moss into Jack Wilson. And then Sanchez on the strong throw in. Sanchez and Wilson both will go out. Typically, you'll have your strongest arm out the farthest on a second throw. And both of these guys are about equal arm-wise, getting the ball to the plate. Kind of like the Rockies with Tulowitzki's arm. And you kind of have 1 and 1A with Tulowitzki and Barnes.
Now the go-ahead run at second. Carlos Gonzalez. Here's the 1-0 to Carlos, and he hits the ball to center field pretty deep. Better than McCutchen thought initially. Tagging is Stewart, and he's going to be able to move up 90 feet. So Gonzalez just missed that one. And with 2 outs, Stewart at third. Chris Iannetta will come up.
You know, Drew, you talked earlier back in the first inning about the tape we watched on Morton. A lot of balls in the dirt, a lot of balls getting away from the catcher. And this is where at third base, Ian Stewart's got to be very alert, along with Richie Dyer, third base coach, as they were yesterday. 58 wild pitches in his minor leagues. It's an awful lot. So again, with that hard breaking ball into the dirt, you never know. You may gain another run here on a pitch by Morton. Jaramillo doesn't seem real comfortable back there catching it, does it? With all that movement, velocity, it's not easy to catch.
Well, George, you make a great point. I mean, how many times has he caught him? He was hurt.
That's exactly right. You know, maybe a bullpen, gone out and warmed the guy up. Trying to anticipate the movement.
He felt he got squeezed on that pitch. 2-0 as he missed with a slider. See the glance at Iannetta. Catchers will do that. Make sure the head of the hitter is facing forward and they're not trying to steal signs.
See, bad pitch there. And the only reason I say that, he's calling a curveball because when you're behind in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. The ability to throw a breaking ball behind in the count. But don't throw an 0-2 breaking ball where you try to bounce it out of the strike zone so far out that they're not going to swing.
Green light him here?
Sure, I would.
Yeah, absolutely. With the pitcher on deck, that missed. And Jason Hamill will come up. Jason threw out a double in his last performance at Coors Field down the right field line.
Already at 36 pitches, a couple of outs in the second inning. It's a bunch.
The Rockies have done a really good job of that all season long. Seeing pitches, grinding out at bats, moving the pitch counts north on starting pitchers. Starts with the 2 guys in the middle, Helton and Happ. That's a strike. And also give Dexter Fowler credit. Dexter has seen a lot of pitches at the top of the lineup. Here's Dex.
Kid's got a solid plus arm. It's kind of fun to watch pitch if he can ever figure out how to master the strike zone. It'll make a world of difference in his ability, other than just throwing that hard sinker for strikes. Be able to throw the breaking ball for a strike.
He came in the McLeod deal with left-handed pitcher Jeff Locke, who is one of the better prospects in the Atlanta system. And one of their top offensive prospects, Gorky Hernandez, who was originally with Detroit. And he's a lot like Andrew McCutchen. This ball is chopped slowly to short. And they'll go the short way. In the inning, there was a walk to Tulowitzki and a long double by Stewart to get this game even again at 1. and Express Toll, the best way to save time and money. Father's Day tomorrow, and we'll be on the air at 12:30 with the pregame show. The Pirates, after that, will depart. The Rockies will also. We'll head to Anaheim. And the Angels next on the menu for 3 days, off day Thursday, and then the Rockies will see Matt Holliday and the Oakland A's.
I'm really looking forward to going out to Anaheim to look at some of that pitching staff that they have, particularly the youngster that'll be starting against Aaron Cook, Matt Palmer, who's 6-0 right now.
The Rockies will miss John Lackey.
Oh, what a shame.
Rats. And they miss Jeff Weaver, who's going tonight.
Another Rats, double rat. Well, the other guys are going out against us, and I think that's something that, as you look at the rotation, Palmer, Irvin Santana, and Joe Saunders, who's done a nice job, 7-4 overall to match up against Marquis.
There's a line drive by Morton that's going to be grabbed by Brad Hopp. Sinking line drive. Good play by Brad. By the way, I said Jeff. Jeff pitches for the Dodgers. Jared pitches for the Angels.
I knew who you meant, though.
And that game underway. And right now, Jared leading his brother, Jeff, 1-0. Both wear that same number, George, 36.
So I guess if they go back to play against each other again, or together with each other, who's going to get it? The oldest brother?
Oldest. Jared would
One's
get
with
it.
the most wins.
Too bad that ball game, we were lamenting this earlier, that it wasn't at Dodger Stadium, because then they'd have to hit against each other. Andrew McCutchen grounded to second on the first pitch of the ball game. Fine play by Clint Barmas, moving to his right. 1-0 on McCutchen. He's been very impressive in his opening days in the big leagues. In fact, he's 10th in batting average in the month of June in the National League at .338. They think he's going to develop enough power where they could slide him down perhaps to the 3-hole. He's a slight guy. When I say slight, I mean he's lean, but he's strong. But he's not very big. He's about 5'10 and a half and 175 pounds.
See, for me, I mean, I know they obviously judge their talent the way they want to judge it. For me, it's just a perfect leadoff guy.
Yeah.
He's got great speed, plays center field. You know, he can, if he hits 15 to 20 home runs in the leadoff spot, great.
Here's the 2-2 from Hamill. And a breaking pitch to third. Comes up nicely for Stewart. And you saw at the very end, all of a sudden Stewart remembered who was running. After he pulled it to his chest, he sped up the pace a little bit and got rid of the rock.
Yeah, you got to realize it because of the speed that's at the plate. Let's take a look at Ian Stewart. He's going to take 2 stops on this baseball. Just a quick pop in the glove, and then make sure he's got the proper grip where he's going to keep it straight and just fired it to first base. He's an interesting talent to watch play the game.
He's the number 2 prospect in their system behind Pedro Alvarez.
Yeah, a lot of that's the hype too behind the draft pick, the money involved.
And Alvarez out of Vanderbilt a couple years ago was, by many scouts, the top hitting prospect in the draft. Bounced up the middle by Morgan, and that thing had eyes, as they say. Base hit. Alvarez started very slowly. He was hitting below 200, George, the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season, and he's got the average up to 250, some home runs, and a bunch of RBIs. He's coming on.
Hamill got 2 quick outs, thinking that he needed to, let's try to get out of this last deal, and he did a nice job because he got the ball on the ground. Just unfortunate. They found a hole right back up the middle. Freddie Sanchez, to me, one of the top 5 professional hitters in the game, and it's a difference between being the best hitter or a professional hitter. And he just does all the right things. Move the runner over. He slaps the ball in behind people. He pull a ball into the gap. Got a little bit of power at his bat. 5 home runs. Very good hitter out of Oklahoma City University.
One and 0 on Freddie. Hits leaders in the league, Miguel Tejada. Orlando Hudson having a great year with the Dodgers. David Wright, then Freddie Sanchez. Nyjer Morgan has 16 stolen bases in 23 attempts. There he goes. Nope. Shut it down. That
Thought
just
about it,
missed.
didn't he?
Yeah.
Made a big jump and gave you every indication that he was going. Kind of the shrug of the shoulders when he didn't go, Drew. Here's what Drew's talking about. 2 big steps, and then he just kind of shut down out front. Felt like he didn't get the proper jump at first base.
2-0 on a dangerous man, Freddie Sanchez. And a pitch that wore in on his hands. 2-1. Hamill 4-0. 354 earned run average over his last 4 starts. First time in his career he's won 4 straight. See Freddie Sanchez with terrific numbers at Coors Field. George, do you have an A move and a B move, or do you always throw it hard?
No, A move, B move. I think there's a lot of different things from step off, stare, look, step off, throw. If you throw over coming up, and there's about 7 different moves you can move to first base.
There he goes, and it's fouled off. A slider.
Base runners love big guys like Hamill on the mound because it's just bigger, longer parts. You got to get moving to get the ball to the plate. Better opportunity to get a bigger jump.
Two not going, and this pitch is fouled away. He's going again. A line drive right center field. This could be a problem. Fowler gets to it quickly. He's got it to Barmes. Here goes Morgan to the plate. No throw. With the runner moving, even though Dexter Fowler did a tremendous job getting that ball before it went to the wall, Morgan is so fast. He scores on that double by Sanchez.
Well, the greatest thing that he did coming off of the bag was he just gave one glance at the ball, even though being 2 outs. It didn't really matter. Down low fastball from Jason Hamill out into right center field. Very good hitter at the plate. See his head, once this ball's hit, he just gives a glance out and it's off to the races. He's going to take to whatever Beasley tells him to do. The strides get longer, they get quicker, and able to come around and score.
Any guess what Morgan's greatest asset, George, was when he played hockey?
Let me guess. He was real fast on skates.
He was very fast on skates.
Imagine that.
It translates, huh? Fast running in spikes, fast on skates. 1-0 on Adam LaRoche. Sanchez at second. There are 2 outs. 2-0. These are those situations you want to put the inning to bed. And Hamill did that in the second inning. He gave up a 1-out run. He had Moss at second base, got a pop out by Jaramillo, and he struck out Jack Wilson. Now he's got to get the 4-hole hitter, Adam LaRoche. And this ball's hit the center field deep. But knocking it down is Dexter Fowler. And he can go get him, can he? In the inning, a single and a double, and the Pirates lead it 2-1. Pittsburgh, bottom of the third. Time to check our Geico quote of the day. High praise from Jack Wilson on the Rockies' left side of the infield. He has, talking about Jim Tracy, the perfect left side of the infield with Tulowitzki and Stewart. When you have Marquis throwing so well and those guys on the left side, it's the perfect situation for the Rockies. It was last night. Good swing there by Dexter Fowler. He grounded to second. Actually a hit taken away by Freddie Sanchez up the middle. Second look for Dexter and Charlie Morton. Rockies have one hit.
And LaRoche honoring the bunt up the third base side, in on the grass about 1.5 feet.
Outfield, 3 steps toward right field for the center fielder McCutchen. 2-1.
Into the crowd, and he caught it. How about him turning the body so he wouldn't end up falling into the stands? Caught it and landed right on that row of cement down there. It's padded below, not on top. What a play. What about concentration on this? He just checked the wall and then jumped right at the last second. It's like, sorry, dude, I'll give you another. I'll give you a little souvenir here in just a minute.
You know what?
He won the jump ball, I can tell you that.
I think that guy's a Pirate fan.
Watch this on the Hyundai cam. Just go up and just sky right above everybody. Look at these faces in the crowd. They're like, wow, did he catch that?
George, yeah, that was a very nice description because he turned his body for self-preservation purposes.
Protection. Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't want to go and bust a rib into the seats or anything. He'd hope you land on top of somebody.
This is hooked down the left field line. Stay fair.
I was going to say, if he catches that one, he's really fast. Really fast. Yeah, here's another look at it right here. Just look at everybody around him. We're like, did he really catch that? He did, didn't he? He really did. Particularly the guy in the Rocky shirt with all the vendors. See him right there? He's like, wow.
But, you know,
that's pretty good.
Niger just thought he was setting a check on somebody in the half boards.
Yeah. He goes, why'd you buy the seats right here? Yeah, you said I was going to get in the action. Well, there's the Pirate fan. He's got the glasses up on the bill. He's got the look going.
0-2 on Barmes. Barmes had a sac fly and a ribby last night. He's driven in a run in 4 straight ball games. He's second in all of baseball in hits in the month of June to Joe Mauer. And he's gone on a hard breaking ball. That is the 3rd strikeout for Charlie Morton.
Steady died a whole bunch of fastballs, but a great angle on his curveball as it's working right out of his hand. The ball just fooled Barmes well out of the strike zone. That one you tip the cap to the pitcher and head back.
Todd Helton struck out on a 3-2 pitch his first time up. Looping curveball missed. It's 1-0. Rockies 19-9 since May 21st. Best record in the game. 2-0. That's over Jack Wilson's head. Todd has splinters in his fingers, but he's got a base knock. With 2 outs, that'll get Brad Hopp to the plate.
Yeah, the bat shattered and went right over in front of the Rockies dugout. Todd Helton went up the line with nothing but the handle. Right off the end of the bat, that sinker again. Helton's strength, though, carries the ball up into the outfield. It does cut it right in half. Just blew it up on a high sinker, but still heavy and had the movement to it. The heaviness of the ball when you throw it on a 2-seam, for whatever reason, when it meets the bat, either on the end or in on your knuckles, it can really ring your hand and break an awful lot of bats. Guys that are hardball, hard sinker guys, they love to blow bats up. I mean, it's just fun for you to go out there and go, I got 6 bats tonight. It's like a strikeout for him.
Don Baylor's going to put that bat back together again.
You know, in Little League, back in the day, you'd take the little finishing nails that were about a ½ inch long and nail it all back together. Then you'd take the duct tape or whatever, black electrical tape, and wrap them up and go play baseball.
One ball, 1 strike on Brad Hopp. Got his bat. It's 1-2.
Got the knob of the bat, didn't it? This will tell you whether it got the knob or if it got another part of the bat. It just got the back end of the barrel as he tried to hold up. Struck out Hop on a fastball. He ran right at his knees and then let it run back.
Slowly hit the short. And Wilson gets Hop. Here in the inning, there was a base hit, nothing else across. 3 innings completed, Coors Field. The Pirates leading 2-1. Hooking up. Hamill trying to go to 5-3 this year, and he'll face Andy LaRoche out of the 5-hole for Pittsburgh. He singled and scored in the 2nd inning. Came around on a Brandon Moss double. New fastball down low. Just joining us, we told you earlier, Manny Corpus placed on the 15-day disabled list today, and Juan Rincon, the veteran right-hander, was brought up. That's a long foul ball.
And he should be here by now, or pretty close to it, here at the ballpark. He was. They thought he would either be at the park, if I understood correctly, by 7:15, or his flight would hit the ground at 7:15. The AAA team out on the road right now. They're in first place by a game and a half.
Yesterday, Matt Merton hit 2 3-run home runs. That's
pretty good day.
Short. Anytime you hit a couple of bombs and there are a couple of guys on each time, I call that a nice day. And your club wins.
Plus, he's hitting over 400 still.
Yep, good for him. Angels and Dodgers, the battle of the Weaver brothers, 2-1 Angels right now. Brothers Jared and Jeff Weaver starting against each other tonight in Anaheim. 7 other sets of brothers have started against each other. How many can you name? Brandon Moss, 0-1.
Dizzy and Daffy? Well, I didn't know if they ever got traded. I just threw out Dizzy and Daffy Dean, going back a little bit. Threw that. You caught you off guard, though, with it, didn't I? You weren't expecting me to throw that out at you, were you?
All right, Perry brothers, Negro brothers.
You're looking at the sheet.
No, I don't have the sheet.
Now you have the sheet.
I don't have the sheet. This is the Great Colorado Payback card. Here's the 1-1. 1-2.
The two Hernandez brothers.
That's a good
Levon
one,
and El
George.
Duque.
They're half brothers. Does that count? They're brothers. That counts.
See.
This ball ripped, and Barnes can't get there. Brandon Moss 2 for 2 against Hamill. We'll see Jason Jaramillo next. We'll also see Alana Rizzo right now with tonight's Great Colorado Payback sideline report.
All right, Drew, thanks very much. Earlier, I talked about Tulowitzki's offense. I'm going to talk a little bit about his defense. I talked to him earlier today about how impressive the defense for the Colorado Rockies has been really for the past few seasons. He said, you know what, if anybody knows me or watches me during infield practice or batting practice knows how much pride I take in my defense. He goes, it starts every day when I take ground balls. He said, that almost makes me feel better than a good play at the plate. He said, defensively, it's very important for me to do a good job, cover a lot of ground, have a great amount of range, and also back up our starting pitching staff. He said, that's our job, and I obviously take a lot of pride in that, guys.
1-0, Alana. Thank you. Do you have any names you want to throw out there?
No, I had the Negro brothers. That was pretty easy, though. That's it.
That's a very nice 1-6-3 double play. 2-1 Pittsburgh. Opposing one another tonight in Anaheim at the Big A. 7 other sets of brothers that started against each other. How many can you name? We came up with what? The Hernandez, the Negros.
No, he said they didn't count.
The Perrys.
Hernandez didn't count because they're half brothers, is what I was told.
I think that...
He's making rules up as he goes.
All right. Andy and Alan Bennis one time. Ramon and Pedro Martinez once. Mike and Greg Maddox twice. The Negros 9 times. Pat and Tom Underwood I never would have gotten. The Perrys, it happened only 1 time.
It's crazy, huh?
And then Jesse and Virgil Barnes 5 times. George, I wouldn't have got that.
No, I wouldn't have.
Should have gotten the Maddoxes though. Troy Tulowitzki walked and scored in the 2nd inning. Good breaking ball. 1-1. He's kept the Rockies off balance. I mean, there's been no pattern to how he's gone about things.
Well, Jaramillo, who caught at Oklahoma State, is a kid that really has mixed location up an awful lot. So there's a hard sinker in on your knuckles, and when you try to free quick enough to get to it, you typically pull it foul like that. It's a hard pitch to handle. 7-2 in the minor leagues with the Braves before being traded here. 5-2 a year ago. So think about this. The kid was 12-4, but his minor league record 30-45. Struggled a lot, and all of a sudden he's found
Strike three on Tulowitzki. Well, right now, if you're general manager Neil Huntington, who made the deal trading McLeod, you got to be impressed with Morton thus far in this ball game.
Yes, after the one inning where he strained the hamstring, they didn't really know what they got, and then all of a sudden they get this. Paint a little bit off the black. Called strike three by Eric Cooper.
That'll bring up Ian Stewart, who has one of the Rockies' 2 hits. It was an RBI double to the base of the wall in right. And this ball is driven high and deep right field. And this one's going to roll to the wall. Stewart around second. He's digging for third. Here's the throw to third, offline. Triple for Ian Stewart.
I like the hustle of Ian Stewart because as he worked down to the bottom of this lineup with 1 out, you'd be a better chance fly ball with Gonzalez, who hit a deep ball to center field first time up. Fastball in. Boy, what a nice job by Stu. Good low ball hitter. Takes the ball into right center field, and the chase is on. McCutcheon after the baseball. Stewart after third base. There's the swing once again of Ian Stewart. Right here, man. Watch him start to dig up some real estate and really start to try to crank it up, breathing hard, thinking I got to get the heck of a scoop by LaRoche too at third base to prevent that ball getting by on a short hop.
Infield halfway, and the pitch misses to Carlos Gonzalez. Real key at bat in this ball game because Morton clearly has demonstrated that he is on his game tonight. And the Rockies trail by a run. You don't know how many opportunities there are going to be.
I think that's the big key you're talking about. The opportunities just have not presented themselves. Gonzalez hit a ball deep enough back in his previous at bat that would get Stewart in. Kid's been impressive. He's making some pretty good pitches.
Yeah. Carlos Gonzalez, kind of been a good news, bad news deal. The Rockies are 9-1 when he starts. That's the good news. And a base hit up the middle. That's good news also. And that ties the ball game. I was going to say the bad news is Carlos hasn't taken off yet offensively. 189 average coming in, but that's a huge knock right there.
Starting to show signs, though. The home run so far in this homestand the other day, dead center, and then now he gets a ball up into the strike zone. Didn't try to do a whole lot with it. Just take the ball right back up the middle, as you should or try to do against the sinker baller. Drives in the run, his 3rd of the season.
And now Carlos with speed at first. Chris Ionnet at the plate. George, what kind of times did you have on him?
Well, the times that I'd received on him earlier around the 1.3 to 1.35 range. We'll put a clock here. Doug's got his clock with him.
And that's about average.
He usually has it with him. He times the cars speeding through his neighborhood, then calls police. Just kidding.
There goes Gonzalez. Jaramillo's throw, not close.
That didn't help that time either. That Morton was 1.49 to the plate. A lot of time given for Gonzalez to get there.
3rd stolen base for Carlos.
Yeah, big jump here on a ball that was up into the zone, and Jaramillo tries to make up for it. A little wide on the shortstop side. Strong arm. Good job of getting into scoring position with the 8-hole hitter Ionetta, who has been relatively hot of late.
Two 2-0 on Ionetta. 1 out. Gonzalez at second base. Fouled off. Carlos a moment ago tied up the ball game after the Stewart triple. He singled hard back up the middle.
Remember yesterday, Stewart stole third base during the ball game to get into a position on a fly ball that scored. Attention being paid right now to Gonzalez by Freddie Sanchez with Ionetta up, because I think Ionetta more of a pull hitter. And Freddie trying to dart back and forth at Gonzalez at second base. He's been moving over and then back into position consistently, because with the pitcher up next, If they don't pay enough attention, Gonzalez steals third, 1 out, fly ball for Iannetta. You got another run in.
And again, not a lot of tape this year on him, George. And there haven't been really many instances in the game where there's a runner at second base where you can get a feel for a pattern on how he handles a runner at second. Is he a one-look guy? Is he a two-look guy? That's a good-looking pitch. It's 2-2. One of the things in baseball, George, as you well know, is you not only scout the opponents, you also have to scout yourself so you don't fall into patterns.
Well, exactly. And a lot of times or tip a pitch.
There goes Gonzalez, and a line shot gloved in the air that'll turn into a double play. Just bad luck. Gonzalez had the base stolen, and Iannetta hit it hard, but right at Adam LaRoche. So the double play goes 3-4, but the Rockies get a run to tie things up at 2. First pitch swinging, and Jack Wilson is retired by Troy Tulowitzki. 2-2 ball game. We're in the 5th. One thing I've noticed, George, and I think you have too, during this great run by the Rockies, victories in 14 of their last 15 games, they've gone from playing some of the longest games on a nightly basis in baseball to now they're playing regularly in 2.5 hours.
Why?
Because they're playing clean baseball, they're throwing strikes, they're efficient on defense.
There's your key. There's your key. He's throwing strikes.
Oh, and 1 on Charlie Morton. He's 1 for 17 in his career, and he's about to be 1 for 18.
Yeah, don't forget to run, Charlie. It's only 90 feet, bud.
Wow.
Hate to see somebody throw one away, and you're halfway there.
That wasn't even a jog. I know you're the pitcher, but you are 25. Some guys in the crowd riding him a little bit. And again, I don't expect a pitcher to run up the line like Sean Dunston, but you could give a little greater effort than that.
Not hard to get there.
Unless in fairness, he's concerned about his hamstring, which kept him out of a start. So I will say that about Charlie, but I mean, he might as well walk. 2 outs. Andrew McCutcheon's 0 for 2. Slider on the corner. Boy, that's a changeup that had McCutcheon way out in front. Tonight's high-speed pitch is brought to you by Quest High-Speed Internet. Charlie Morton's hit 95. Jason Hamill's hit 94. A couple of good young arms. 0-2 on McCutchen, who's hit 13 of his first 15 big league games. See that young lady back there?
Jumped about 6 feet, didn't she? Kind of like, what? That's one of the girls that works downstairs at the Coors Field Clubhouse. It got you. Somebody probably yelled, "Look out." She saw the ball coming. How about that slider? That was nasty.
Yeah, Andrew McCutchen did much like that. 7-pitch inning for Hamill. 2-2 ball game. Jason Hamill in the bottom of the 5th inning. Takes a strike on the outside corner. Or was that not? No, it was called a ball. Not bad. That's a strike.
It's been a couple of times in this ball game, and it has set up to lead off innings where a pitcher had led the inning off. For Hamill, it happened back in the 3rd inning. With Charlie Morton leading off, and here in the 5th, it'll be Hamill leading off. Ground ball right at Wilson.
So Hamill's retired, and that'll bring up Dexter Fowler. Now, Dexter last time fouled out to the left fielder Niger Morgan, but it was a rather interesting play. Excuse me.
Is it the high socks, his build, his left-handed throwing? Is there a little Juan Pierre I'm seeing? With swinging the bat, the way he stands a little bit.
He's got a little Juan Pierre in him. That was a good play. That was a really good play.
Great play.
Pirates trying to turn their fortunes around. 16 straight seasons of below 500 baseball.
I'm looking forward to De La Rosa going right back at Pittsburgh. Last start against Pittsburgh, 7 innings, 7 hits, no walks, 10 strikeouts.
That'll be tomorrow. High curveball, no strike. Eric Cooper's got more of a high zone.
He's had a little
tonight.
weird one tonight, huh?
Well, it's up, and the edges are maybe not in play.
Expanding a little bit.
But no, I don't think they're in play.
Yeah, I know on a punch out a minute ago, he got somebody pretty quick. Well, let's see who wins this race. You better hurry up there, big boy.
I don't know. Safe. Morton didn't get there. Again, I don't know if
Lazy.
it's the hamstring,
Yeah.
George, but he was casually running.
You know what? If you kind of just soft jog over there, don't even have to run really hard to get to the bag. You still ought to be able to beat him, but you got to take it straight at him. You know, I'm going to say this. If you're not 100%, I'm not sure the Pirates would let him go out. See, he went pretty hard right there, and then he slowed down, and then he reached out to try to tag Dexter versus get to the bag. See, if he'd have gone on straight to the bag, he probably would have had him out.
He may be protecting the hamstring.
He may be. I just think if it was that severe, Drew, that he couldn't cover first like that, I don't think the Pirates would send him to the mound. Fear of hurting it again.
There's no question he's safe. There's Dex's foot on the bag.
There's the tag coming right after it. I'll tell you what I've seen of Charlie Morton tonight. This is pretty special talent. Big sinking curveball, hard slider, good. You know, did a nice job with mixing up his pitches.
Well, George, if you're a scout, rate his pitches.
Well, I mean, his fastball's plus for me, which would give you about a 5.5, 6 for me on his pitches. On his sinker, movement's a plus. The breaking ball, looking at it, here's the pitch count that put up on the screen, 78 total. Slider, when he stays on top's got great depth and movement to it, add velocity to it. Same with the curveball. It hides the changeup extremely well. Slow to the plate. Needs to get a little quicker going to the plate. It allows a base stealer to have an opportunity. Gonzalez a minute ago, he's 1-for-8 with Gonzalez at first. Dexter with 11 stolen bases on the season.
Carlos Gonzalez stole a bag easily on him last inning. This is where Barmes, George, who's a very aggressive hitter, has to be a little more patient. Give Dex an opportunity. There he goes. Pitch out. And I think he's still going to get the bag.
Too much of a windup by your catcher behind the plate. Jaramillo, watch how he wound up. There was not a good exchange. A long arm behind the plate to get rid of the baseball versus going out and meeting the baseball and getting rid of it very quickly. 12 stolen bases of the season for Dexter. Watch, folks, when he steps out. From that point there, he kind of wound up, locked the arm in a position, and then tried to throw a bullet down. It's just what I'm talking about. Very slow after it got into the glove, and a stolen base by Dexter. Big jump, head down, going straight to the bag. Now Dexter's speed has given the Rockies an opportunity to go ahead in this ball game, beating out an infield single and now a stolen base.
Yeah, that's a good move by Morton, George, because
I think
Dexter watched while Gonzalez was on second. Breaking pitch in for a strike. It's 1-1.
See, I think it is, Drew, when it's the second or third pitch versus the first, because I know Dexter stole a base the other night, but I think if I'm not mistaken, it was on the second pitch. And so a lot of times now you go and you watch. Now he's 144 to 146 right now with a guy on second. A lot of times you increase your times to the plate and going the other way, much slower with a runner on second base, because you just don't expect him to steal that often. Dexter was caught stealing 2 nights ago, so it's his first stolen base since May 24th. Man, that seems like a long time ago. It is a long time ago.
Here's the 2-1 to Barmes. You know what? That was a savvy move by Clint. Show that you're trying to get out of the way, but he was actually trying to get nicked by it.
Well, I mean, that's the whole thing about it. You try to hang with it as long as you can. Just kind of rotate the hip into it and give away.
Trying to take one for the team. 3-1. Helton's on deck. This is a pop up to second. Sanchez has it. And with 2 outs, that'll bring up Todd Helton in a 2-2 ball game. Here's tonight's Colorado Mining Association Power Hit of the Week. Todd Helton going deep. His 8th home run of the year. And did you know that Foley is used in air safety bags, smoke retardants, and carbon monoxide detectors? Foley could save your life, and it's mined in Colorado. One 1-0 on Helton. Todd singled to center his last time up. Now, if you're Charlie Morton, you're not concerned about a stolen base. It's not a good play with 2 outs.
And a left-handed bat at the
And
plate.
a left-handed bat at the plate. Open side. And there's not much to be gained unless you get a wild pitch, even if you steal third. He's going to score on any kind of hit.
But you got, and plus the fact you got 2 RBI guys sitting here, and Helton and Hop leading your ball club.
Absolutely. That's in there, 1-2. Todd has 25 ribbies in his last 30 ball games. He's on pace to drive in more than 110 runs. This ball driven to center field and deep. McCutchen going back, still going back. Oh, he made the catch.
Wow.
Wow. I think Todd said, you got to be kidding me. There's a lot of white showing on this baseball in the glove. Watch again. Morgan will lead it off out of the 2-hole in the top of the 6th inning against Jason Hamill. 2-2 ball game. He pulls a butt. Hamill's not going to be able to glove.
Tough play. Tough play. He's already singled and scored in the ball game. That time you kind of saw Reed coming as the top of the bat dropped early. You know, trying to get off of the mound to get to this. And the only thing he's going to be able to do, folks, is grab this baseball, flip it glove to glove. Just didn't get down far enough to get a hold of it. Going back to the catch of McCutchen in center field. I mean, he never took his eyes off the baseball, and then he just timed it perfectly to reach up at the last second, and you see that little snow cone come there at the very end. What a catch.
George,
tremendous catch.
George, that is as good a catch as we have seen this year. How about the 2 plays Morgan and McCutchen have made? Now, obviously, the one that Niger made was for an out, nothing, you know, it was a foul ball, so there wasn't going to be any damage. That would have put the Rockies ahead 3-2.
And no telling what else may have happened with the hop behind and Helton at second. What a catch.
You know,
For a kid, too, that's first trip into this ballpark.
Yeah, that's a great point also.
Altitude, to fly to the baseball. I mean, what he did to get back to make a play on that's impressive.
And Neil Huntington wants to make the Pirates more athletic. He's done that with Andrew McCutchen being called up from Indianapolis.
Yeah, Morgan, pretty good athlete, too.
Yep. So pressure right now on the Rockies with Morgan and his 16 stolen bases at first.
Tell you one thing Jim Tracy's doing right now. Jim calls all of the running plays out of the dugout, and he's really studying and looking. He's asking Richie Dower, who's the infield and defensive guy, and he's looking to see what he's going to try to do defensively. He's staring at Morgan to see what kind of lead he has going on. Making the calls out of the dugout, anticipating the steals, anticipating maybe a pitch out. Chris Iannetta checking. You're always looking for a base runner to tip his hand of some kind, either hands in a fist, open fingers, when he's going, when he's not going.
Not going, and that's a great bunt. Out at first base. Freddie Sanchez nailed by Hamill on a bang play. It's a sacrifice, but getting it out there is huge.
I know it goes down as a sacrifice, but it almost looks like Freddie's trying to bunt for the base hit. Pitch comes, he commits late on the ball and lays it perfectly up the third base line. And what a play by Hamill to get over to the baseball. Let's look on the Hyundai cam. I mean, this was a bang play.
He's out.
He's out. It's a great call by Rick Riley. He's out by about, a foot's coming down.
Rick Riley's a great writer, George.
Oh, sorry.
But, I don't know if Rick would have gotten that call right.
Yeah, Rick probably wouldn't have. Was fortunate enough, or unfortunate, however you want to take it. I took it as fortunate to work 3 innings with him up here one time.
Yeah, Rick's a
about
friend.
7-8 years ago.
Rick's a friend and as talented a writer as there is in the business.
I really liked the show he did. Was on Hometown. He went back into some areas and sit down with Josh Hamilton was one of his guests, and went back in and sit down with his crowds and talked and listened. It's pretty neat, pretty interesting show he's done. Burnett, the left-hander, warming up down in the bullpen. He came in the last night's game, couple of punch outs.
Pitched well. Now the go-ahead run at second base in Morgan. LaRoche is 0 for 2. This is Adam LaRoche, a strikeout and a fly ball to deep center. That's what I mean by the edges, George. Eric Cooper's zone is more north and south than east and west tonight.
Well, it has been. I say that, and we look at it, and there's certain pitches like that when he just doesn't call. Yet, remember the strikeout of Hop when the ball ran the full length of the plate off the outside corner, and then there was a right-hander that was a strikeout.
We haven't talked much about this, but Hamill, he's in the 6th inning. He's given up 2 runs, George, on 6 hits. He's backed up his last outing. He's pitched very well tonight and efficient. Just 66 pitches.
66 pitches. He's in the 6th inning.
It's terrific.
Allow you to work into the 7th or 8th unless you're still in a tie game and you get in a position where you might have to pinch hit for Hamill.
Two to 1 strike to ball ratio tonight. 44 strikes, 22 balls. That's good as well. Inside move to get Morgan back to the bag. And now Stewart's going to come over and visit with Hamill.
Well, the one thing I noticed a little bit here, Hamill looked a little bit perturbed on the mound. He couldn't get the pitch he wanted. He didn't, and maybe a pitch he wanted to go with. Then all of a sudden it appeared on the mound that he didn't really want to do the pickoff, because after he did it, he kicked the dirt. Maybe that's where Stewart went in. Hey, come on, let's go. Make the pitch. Let's get out of this thing.
2-1.
Morgan's taking his concentration away from him right now because here's one thing you always look back for a pitcher. When a guy on second base, if you're still looking at second as you start your delivery to the plate, you're not going to have as good a command. You know, you can do your look back, but make sure your focus is right at the target you're going to throw to. I always tell kids all the time, can you make a free throw without looking at the basket? I don't think so.
See, that's a pitch that.
But he may be more comfortable
strike,
right on right and try to get a double play with not much speed at first. Adam LaRoche just one stolen base. Here it is, what Drew's talking about. Right onto the outer half of the plate.
That's the first walk allowed by Hamill. But it does set up the possibility of a double play. And it's not Bob Apodaca jogging him out.
No.
Jim Tracy wants to talk to Hamill.
See, here's the overhead, Drew, of that last pitch coming in here as Tracy jogs out to the mound. Let's see if it is off the plate and how far it is. See, that's pretty far off. You're talking about 2 to 3 inches off the plate versus an inch off the plate. Sometimes you get that.
Now, Andy LaRoche, a single and a ground ball to short.
See, I think Jim just went out to tell him, forget about the runner at second. Let's get these hitters, get a double play, and get out of the inning. All right, you're letting him affect what you're doing at home plate. Just get on the mound, and let's be aggressive, and let's go right at him, because that's what you did for 5 innings.
That's a strike. And Andy would be a double play candidate, George.
Yeah, absolutely would be. Andy and Adam both, the two brothers. Not a lot of speed. Andy's looking at 2 stolen bases. Adam with 1 stolen base.
And Andy's grounded into 8 double plays this year. That is the most on the Pirates. Make it 9. Center field, Dexter is there. And Nigel Morgan went halfway, so he did not tag. And that's the second out. And here comes the guy that's given the most problems tonight, George. Brandon Moss, a double and a single, and both were tattooed.
Yeah, both balls hit hard, both on a fastball that was left up a little bit in the strike zone. So, you know, now you got to go back on your memory bank and make a pitch that he's least expecting at this time, whether it be a changeup or a hard curveball.
Brandon Moss didn't get a start last night against Jason Marquis, who, not incidentally, produced 20 ground ball outs last night. One of the best performances of the year in baseball for producing ground balls. Aaron Cook had 23 in a game earlier, and here's a ground ball that should end the inning. Well done by Jason Hamill. I don't know what Jim Tracy said, but whatever it is, it works. Dexter Fowler at the plate, going into the crowd, visiting with folks. Nice grab. And this grab's even better. Stealing a double from Todd Helton that would have given the Rockies a 3-2 lead. Beautiful catch by Andrew McCutchen. That was the Frostbrewed Coors Light Freeze Can. We've seen some fine outfield play when these two teams have hooked up this year. Remember the catches Spilborgh's made in Pittsburgh this year? Went over the wall to take a home run away and then went to the wall in left center field to take away a double or a triple. Sean Burnett is on again, the left-hander. So Charlie Morton, George, gone after 5 innings.
Well, maybe that hamstring did bother him a little bit when he couldn't run up the first base line over there. But I'll tell you what, he was fairly impressive. 5 hits the Rockies were able to muster off of him, a couple of runs.
Brad Hopp takes a strike on the corner. 87 pitches thrown by Morton. Burnett worked last night, as we discussed, a clean inning in which he struck at 2. He got Gonzalez and Iannetta working the 6th inning last night. Pitch inside 1-1. Brad Hopp so steady this year, hitting lefties at a 322 clip, righties at a 351 clip coming in. And tonight Brad is 0 for 2. And this ball on the ground to Sanchez. 1 out. And let's go see what Alana Rizzo's up to.
All right, Drew, thanks very much. Wanted to update our viewers in case they missed it at the beginning of our broadcast about setup guy Manny Corpus. The Rockies have put him on the 15-day DL. He showed up at the ballpark a couple of days ago with inflammation in his throwing arm. He had an MRI yesterday. It showed a bone chip in his right elbow. They didn't feel that 48 hours would be enough time to fix the situation. Both the medical doctor for the Rockies and the head athletic trainer Keith Duggar said putting him on the DL was the best bet. So he is on the 15-day DL. The corresponding move, the Rockies have purchased the contract of right-handed pitcher Juan Rincon from AAA Colorado Springs. That exemplar injury report brought to you by Exemplar Lutheran Healthcare, guys.
All right, Alana, thank you. And we're not sure if Rincon's at the ballpark yet. He was supposed to get here right around 7:15.
I'll tell you what, Burnett's done a nice job for this Pirate ball club. The right-handers have only hit a $184 against him. He's only given up a couple of home runs on the season. Father's Day's tomorrow. Have fun and make sure you get out of bed and call your dad. Bring your dad out to the ballpark, though, and you'll get a cat. All from Furniture Row Shopping Centers. The first 20,000 through the gates. Purchase your tickets. If you have not, stop by one of the King Supers, a ticket outlet, Colorado Rockies. .com. Pick up that ticket. Bring Dad to the yard tomorrow.
Up, and it's 2-2 on Tulowitzki.
Part of the deception with Burnett is he's crossed his body. So he steps back towards third base, over to first base, and it brings the ball at you from center field. He's got a lot of crossfire, but he has velocity with it. Sweeping slider, hides the ball extremely well. Pitching way over on the third base rubber. But he's going to step over here in this area here to get to here.
And a base hit for Tulowitzki. George pulled his hands in and got enough of the barrel on it to drive it to left field. A one-out knock for Tulowitzki.
And where was the pitch? Up into the strike zone, not down in the strike zone. And again, a very good high ball hitter. Watch Tulowitzki get the head out and drive the baseball to the left side above the belt on a high fastball. He has hit the ball so well up into the zone on this hot streak that he's on. Nine stolen bases for Tulowitzki, though, with Burnett the lefty. Makes it a little more difficult to steal the bag on.
Ian Stewart is 2 for 2, a double and a triple. Just go ahead and hit the bomb right here.
But if you can figure out the move, very slow to the plate with Burnett. 1.77 on that last throw. One strike and one out. Stewart at the plate. Gonzalez waits in the on-deck circle.
An interesting little story about Sean Burnett. He was the first-round pick of the Pirates in 2000 out of Wellington High School in Florida. And what's interesting about that is it's the only time in the history of the draft that a team back-to-back years first-round selection came from the same high school. This ball hit the center field and deep. McCutchen going back. He's not going to get this one. I told you it was time for the two-run homer. Have a night, Ian Stewart. And the Rockies go on top 4-2. Home run number 13.
Continues to lead this ball club. High fives everywhere for Stewart and Tulowitzki getting the leadoff single, or a single with one out, I should say. Then a deep, long, high drive by Ian Stewart on a ball up into the strike zone and away from him. Carried. McCutchen's not going to catch this one.
Carlos Gonzalez, roller to second. And he's retired by Freddie Sanchez. Double, triple, two-run home run for Ian Stewart. He's driven in 3 of the 4 tonight. 13 home runs, 37 driven in for Stewart. And you know, when we talked about a club, George, that Jim Tracy said there's more offensively. As well as we've played, we're not quite firing on all cylinders on offense. And you know, you take a guy like Stewart who entered the ball game at 219. You know he's a far better hitter than that. And he's emerged tonight in a big way. Carlos Gonzalez, who came in at 189 with a key RBI single earlier. Good changeup. 0-2 on Iannetta. And a base hit for Chris on an 0-2 pitch. And that's big, George. It'll clear Hamill in the pitcher's spot here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
How about the bottom of this lineup for the Rockies? 6, 7, and 8 on the night. A combined 5 for 8. 5 for 8. Hear that out. 4 RBIs, a home run, and 4 runs scored.
Let's go back to March, and when we were discussing the prospects of the Rockies offensively, it's fouled off. You said, hey, 1 through 8, there was going to be punch. And tonight, you have your 6-hole hitter who's had a huge night. Gonzalez had the 7 holes, thrown out an RBI hit. Iannetta in the 8-hole with 9 home runs. That'll hit that sharply.
Well, the top 4 in the lineup, just 2 hits tonight with 4 strikeouts. The bottom half has carried it, and that's the way it should be.
Ian Stewart with a titanic blast to center. Rockies up 4-2 as we go to the 7th. Home run in the bottom of the 6th inning from Ian Stewart, have a 4-2 lead as we go to the 7th. Time to check this date in history, brought to you every night by Dex. Dex knows. June the 20th in 2004 on Father's Day with his dad in attendance. Ken Griffey Jr. hits his 500th career home run. Playing for the Reds at the time, he becomes the 20th big leaguer and 6th youngest to reach the milestone. And we just saw Junior a few days ago when the Mariners were in town. Junior, father of 3 kids, very close-knit family, the Griffeys.
Last night, a home run. You're going to see Ian Stewart come over. Last night, Griffey had a home run to tie it in Seattle. Seattle went on to win the game 4-3 over the Arizona Diamondbacks.
There's a pinch hit home run in the 8th inning. On the first pitch he saw of the evening. Jason Jaramillo, 0 for 2, hitting out of the 7-hole against Jason Hamill. And Hamill just misses away. Pop to first, and a 1-6-3 double play tonight for Jaramillo. Came in at 274. And a big cut, no baseball. Go ahead, George.
No, I was just going to say, down in the Rockies bullpen right now, it's Daly and Flores both warming up. The right and left combination. I think that's one thing we've noticed out of Jim Tracy, managing this baseball team. He constantly has both barrels going. He does not have just one guy, a right or a left-hander, going. He always has the preparation so he can battle and play the chess game with the opposing manager and his bench.
He's getting such great length the last 3 weeks out of his starters. This is looped to center field. And a base hit for Jaramillo. So a leadoff single. Got to compliment George Jaramillo and Robinson Diaz, who caught yesterday for Pittsburgh, because these 2 kids, you go back to spring training, and most nights it was going to be Ryan Doman, who provides a pretty decent sized bat for Pittsburgh, but he's been out for a while, and these 2 kids have done a nice job.
Very nice job, and again, you know, the guys that they feel like that they could come up and be, more than adequate backups, but also be pretty productive guys at the big league level, and they've done that. 1 home run for Jaramillo and 15 RBIs. He hit 274 coming into the ball game, and he's 1 for 3 tonight. And
Diaz, 280 average home run and 15 RBIs, so they're getting some production there. Jack Wilson at the plate. Eric Hinsky's come out on deck. Line drive, base hit, and 2 balls not hit particularly hard. But now you have the go-ahead run coming up in Hinsky.
Well, and Hinsky's been their top pinch hitter this year.
They're going to call him back. They're going to bring Delwyn Young to the plate now.
7 for 20 as a pinch hitter. Young at the plate as a pinch hitter, 5 for 16. 2 for 3 from the right side. Total 7 for 19 with 3 RBIs.
If you're thinking fatigue, again, both of those balls were pretty good pitches, and the pitch count is tremendous for this stage of the ball game. Just 78 pitches. So Hamill on a relatively cool night. The game time temperature first pitch was 66 degrees. He's pitched out of a mini jam last inning. First and second with 1 out. Got a fly ball to center field and a ground ball, weak ground ball to second off the bat of Brandon Moss. So now Delwyn Young, who started in right last night, takes outside. Young has been swinging the bat very well. He's hit 8 of his last 9 starts, a .441 average. Hinsky really, George, on their bench is the guy that supplies the power. They did make a move we haven't touched on before the ball game. The veteran Craig Monroe was designated for assignment. They brought up Steve Pearce, who 2 years ago was the minor league player of the year. He's got a lot of power, a right-handed bat. There's Hinsky, the veteran, former American League Rookie of the Year.
Well, Hinsky has only 1 home run, Drew, and none. Imagine this, their ball club, 0 pinch hit home runs. Knock on wood. You don't want to change that trend right now. The Rockies have a couple of pinch hit home runs.
Yeah, Club doesn't have a lot of power, but Pierce and Hinske now give them some pop off the bench. Well, make a pitch here, get one on the ground. 3-1. 3-1, and then you got the speed guys, McCutchen and Morgan. Rockies ahead 4-2. Hits are even at 8. Ball 4. And now the bases are loaded, nobody out. Yeah, they're going to go and get Daly. So
well,
Hamill gives up a couple of soft singles and then loses the pinch hitter Young.
Well, the matchup suits this right on right. You're going to have to play, you know, and you're up 2 right now, so you can set your middle infield back for the double play ball, pull your corners tight, but you're bringing in Daly because of the heavy sinker and good slider, typically everything down in the zone.
So Hamill goes 6+, exits with a 4-2 lead. Loaded, nobody out. The Rockies have a 4-2 lead in the 7th. Matt Daly is the new pitcher for the Rockies after 6 very good innings for Jason Hamill. This call to the pen is brought to you by Comcast Digital Home Phone Service. Warm up to unlimited local and long distance. Call 800 Comcast. What compounds the problem, George, is that the first 2 guys that Daly must face run exceptionally well.
Yeah, but you got to take into the mind you're only down 2. You're not, I mean, you're up 2. You're not only up 1. So you can set your middle infield back, try to get a double play. It's not a panic situation because it's top of the 7th. If you're only up 1, it changes the whole perspective of it. I'm going to applaud Jason Hamill too, because the 2 balls hit to start this inning were not hit hard. He pitched well.
He pitched very well again. Here's Matt Daly. He's well rested. And a slider for a strike. Matt Daly's had 4 days off. The 0-1, and this ball's hit well to left center field, really well. Gonzalez can't get it. It's going to score everybody. McCutchen with a bases clearing triple, and the Pirates take a 5-4 lead. And all 3 of those runs charged to Jason Hamill.
A lot of times the buttons you push as a manager always don't equal out to what you want them to do. An 82-mile-an-hour slider. And again, you're talking about a kid, Matt Daly, that had been very, very good. Let's look at the slider. More of a straight. It had flattened out, Drew. There wasn't a lot of movement away from the right-handed bat. Hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark. You know, when we talked about the power of McCutchen, you mentioned a minute ago they thought he might be an RBI guy, somebody who moved down in that 3 or 4 hole into their lineup. Talked about the power at the top of the lineup. He displayed some power there. Wiped the bases clean.
Yeah, now you got to bring the infield in. And the Rockies have 2 very fast guys in a very large outfield. Gonzalez gave it a great effort. He couldn't get to the baseball. Not that it matters. I will say this, George, if he makes that catch way out there,
you're going to get one, maybe 2
field, outs.
You're going to be 2 out, but they may still get 2 runs. That guy at second can run a little bit.
Because they had the 2 trail runners already around second base. This ball down the line, foul. And Daly is more of a contact guy out of the bullpen. So if you're thinking strikeout, Matt struck out 10 in 13 1/3.
But I think that's probably one of the reasons maybe he was brought into the game to try to get a double play turn, get a ball on the ground.
Base hit, and it's 6-4. You know, Gonzalez right now, I'm just looking at him walk around, George. He's kind of limping. There he is live in left field. I wonder if he hurt himself going after this baseball.
Yeah, I wonder, huh? When he stretched right there, kind of awkward, wasn't it? When he went after the baseball, maybe he did stretch a little bit. Or did he turn his ankle up against that wall? See it right up underneath that area up there in center field.
Still nobody out. Morgan at first. You got to wonder about him running. Boy, this game's turned around in a hurry, and Rockies are going to have to break out the bats. The good news is they have 9 outs still to work with.
Well, and again, Daly had inherited 8 base runners. Only 2 had scored on the season. It kind of shows favored the fact that he can maybe get out of that inning.
2 straight games, McCutchen has tripled.
More than likely the last batter for Daly to face. The left-handed hitting LaRoche in the on-deck circle.
You go back to the sequence. Hamill was ahead of Jaramillo 1 and 2. Jaramillo hit a flare to center field for a hit, and then Wilson hit a soft liner off the hands to left for a hit, and then Young walked on 5 pitches. Pitch out, nothing going on.
Jackson, the right-hander, has started to throw down in their bullpen.
He wanted to go, George. Morgan slipped. And, you know, Daly allowed, he kind of had a walking lead, which you never want to allow to have happen with a runner at first. Watch Morgan here. Watch he's pitter-pattering his feet, and then he spun out. He's doing it again. And now Matt doing a better job holding him. Good fastball, 1 and 2. I know you believe this to be true, George. The best way to hold a base stealer oftentimes just hold the baseball.
Absolutely. Because what happens, the body tenses up. The longer you keep him in a base stealing position, the longer that body's going to tense up. allow them to either relax a little bit and stand up or relax enough that they're not going to steal the base. And you look for the craziest things. You know, you look for the white of the fingernails to get little, you know, like when you press them down and they get wider and you can see them. You look for a guy that holds his fist together, guys that maybe shake their fingers when they go. There's a lot of other indications that guys give. That's where everybody teaches keep quiet as a base stealer.
Yeah, Freddie Sanchez, a tough out, is a strikeout victim, and that's the first out of the inning.
Yeah, hard slider right here, down and away. On the outer half of the plate, Jim Tracy about to pop out of the dugout. He'll go get the left-hander. It appears to be Alan Embry now up down in the bullpen.
One out, Niger Morgan at first. 4 runs in the inning for the Pirates. They've taken a 6-4 lead. 1 out in the 7th. We're back right after this. Colorado Payback, reuniting you with your money. By Tough Shed Storage Buildings and Garages. Call 1-800-BUY-TOUGH or visit them online at toughshed.com. And by AMCO Transmissions, AAMCO. Pirates ahead 6-4. Niger Morgan singled in the 6th run with 1 out. He is at first base. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by Comcast Digital Home Phone Service. Warm up to unlimited local and long distance. Call 1-800-COMCAST. And Alan Embry, who was in the ball game last night, comes in here with 1 out in the 7th to face Adam LaRoche. The LaRoche brothers hitting 4 and 5 tonight.
Adam 0 for 2 in his career against Alan Embry.
Slider for a strike, and it's 0-1. Rockies in the bottom of the 7th inning will have the top of the order. Good heater at 93. 0-2.
Earlier, Doug told us that Jackson was warming up for the Pirates in the bullpen. And if any indication, he's pitched in 8 games, 8 innings, Drew. He's walked 7. There's Mr. Jackson heating up down there.
Line drive, double play. That'll get the Rockies to the dugout. They have some work to do offensively. They trail 6-4. Andrew McCutchen, a 3-run triple. AT&T, your world delivered. Pirates leading 6-4 after that 4-run top of the 7th. Steven Jackson on for the 9th time this year. Dexter Fowler to lead it off, and he takes ball 1. The Pirates don't have a lockdown bullpen, George.
No, they don't. I mean, Capps is one of those guys that come in and get you some saves, throw strikes. He's a decent closer. He's 16 out of 18 in save opportunities.
This ball roped. Oh,
could he hit it any harder?
No, he couldn't. Nice pick there by Adam LaRoche.
Yeah, LaRoche with just 1 error on the season at first base. Again, that's kind of a do-or-die deal. Kind of seemed weird to you how far he was off of the line. 7th inning, bottom of the 7th inning, trailer up by 2. Typically with left-handed bats, you crowd the line a little bit. Here he makes a nice backhand play on Dexter Fowler and able to get him.
Clint Barmes 0 for 3, steps up, and he takes a strike. Hook to third, and the other LaRoche makes a nice play. 2 outs.
Adam looked over at Andy and said, hey, you never threw it that hard in the backyard. What the heck's going on?
Time for our Excel Energy fun fact. Prior to 1931, balls that bounced over or through the fence were considered home runs. Summer is a great time to cook outdoors. This keeps your house cooler and saves energy. Learn more energy tips at responsiblebynature.com. Todd Helton fouls off the first pitch. You got to go back for a moment. 5th inning, 2-2 ball game. Dexter Fowler at second base. Helton smothers one about 405 feet from home plate. And Andrew McCutchen makes an unbelievable catch. Defensive player of the game. And he also has the biggest hit offensively. 0-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Here's that catch by McCutchen.
Wasn't it unbelievable? I mean, he just got such a great break. I mean, Todd squared this thing up, and he got a tremendous break on the baseball. Followed it to the spot, reached up, made the catch.
This is up the middle, and Jack Wilson makes the play. 1, 2, 3 for Steven Jackson in the 7th. We move to the 8th. The Rockies trail the Pirates by 2 runs. behind. The Rockies led 4-2. Pirates had a 1-0 lead early, then a 2-1 lead. Rockies tied it in the second and then in the fourth and went ahead on a 2-run Ian Stewart home run. This ball is tatered to left center field. Andy LaRoche with a double. 11 hits now for the Pirates. Jason Hamill is the one with the hook right now. And believe it or not, Sean Burnett, George, is on the winning side despite pitching 1 inning and giving up 2 runs.
Yep, sure is. That's a funny game. Looks like Peralta, the right-hander, warming up, and Flores is back up for the Rockies.
Matt Daly, a third of an inning. He gave up a run on 2 hits, though he gave up the triple with the bases loaded. And those 3 runs charged to Jason Hamill. Oh, and 1 on Brandon Moss.
Didn't get a good read on that slider. A little upper body flinch.
Good slider, throw to second, and LaRoche dives back in.
Something Ionetta's not afraid to do as a catcher, and it's a tremendous asset to have the confidence in yourself to do that. Throw behind a runner at second base when you think they've gotten too big of a lead and you get a good feed out front. You just got to make sure the throw is very accurate, that your shortstop can handle it. Benito Santiago used to do it regularly. Tony Pena when he was healthy. Johnny Bench, all the catchers with very strong arms. Pudge Rodriguez. Tremendous asset to have to bail pitchers out of innings.
And that goes off Barmis's glove, and a run's going to score. Now trying to go to second, and safe there is Brandon Moss, and it's a 7-4 ball game. And right now, man, you could hear a pin drop at Coors Field.
And a great crowd at Coors Field, too, to watch the Rockies and Pirates ball game. It is extremely quiet here. High slider hit right at Clint. It appeared to take a bounce directly left. Watch this on the Hyundai cam. And I'm going to see it there. It's backed up a little farther where this ball hit. Because look how Barma spun all the way around to try to get to the back end of this baseball. 1, 2, and then all of a sudden it just skipped away from him. It looked like he had the ball right in the middle of his body, and that thing just shot out. Jim Tracy's going to make a double switch very quickly. Clint Barmas will come out of the ball game. Quintanilla into the ball game and would hit 9th.
Goes as a base hit and an RBI. And actually a double and an RBI. 3 hits tonight for Moss.
Your attention. Changes for the Rockies.
with nobody out. And a runner at second base in Brandon Moss. It'll be the 10th ball game for Peralta, who's done a very nice job.
He's done a great job for the Rockies. An earned run average of 1.86, 9 strikeouts in 9 2/3 innings. And in a lot of pressure situations with the club up by 1 or 2, particularly in Milwaukee, was outstanding there and earlier in this homestand. Jaramillo against right-handed pitching this year has hit .286. Never faced Peralta. Jack Wilson has. It's an on-deck circle.
And that's Luke Fallon out of play. Jaramillo started that rally last inning, the 4-run rally, with the bloop single to center when he was behind in the count against Jason Hamill, 1-2. The pitching staff has done such a marvelous job the last 3 weeks, George, as the Rockies have rattled off 14 wins in 15 ball games. And tonight, we'll have to ask the hitters to pick them up.
14-4 over the span. Drew's talking about in the month of June with 7 saves and a .335 earned run average. The 49 walks in 161 plus innings, the fewest in the National League.
Three and 1 on Jaramillo. That's Jack Wilson.
Still a 3-run ball game. Still got to work through the middle of the lineup if you're the Pirates. Graybo's warming up, their left-handed setup man. You're going to get Caps in the 9th. Just no more damage. Keep it a 3-run ball game at this point.
Three and 2 on Jason Jaramillo, the catcher for the Pirates. Ball 4.
They overthrew the fastball, jammed it down into the ground.
George, the last 9 hitters, actually the last 10 hitters for the Pirates, 8 have reached. Sanchez struck out, and then Adam LaRoche accounted for 2 outs as he lined into a double play. The other 8 guys all reached.
Yeah, this has not been pretty. There's no question about it.
And the Rockies had all the momentum after that Stewart 2-run home run to dead center field to make it 4-2. That seems like a long time ago now. It's the bottom of the 6th inning. They didn't get a double play ball from Jack Wilson. And he bunts it up in the air, and a great effort by Iannetta.
Well, when a ball's bunted like this as a catcher, you're really difficult to find it immediately. You can scream up all you want to as teammates and as the bench. But you start to look up because of the spin on the ball on the bat. It's going to flip it behind you. And so because he works so much under the baseball. So you had a ball goes up and then that rotation carries it back. Iannetta gives his best effort. Comes up empty-handed. Wilson handles the bat extremely well.
Peralta has a force at third. Big throw.
You know what? Totally confident in the ability to catch the baseball and make that play. That allowed him to do it. How many times have we seen a pitcher pick up the baseball, look first, and all of a sudden throw it and airmail it down the left field line? His thought here, it's coming right back at me. I'm going to third no matter what. And a perfect throw to Ian Stewart to get the lead runner. You know, Hinske will get his shot to hit now, coming off of the bench to hit in the pitcher's spot for Jackson.
Hitting 350 off the bench. They got him. Daylight play. Tulowitzki got there and picked off his Jaramillo.
How many times have we seen Tulowitzki either get them or come close to it? Let's watch Tulo's knee. Did he drop it in this time? Nope, didn't have to. Out by a wide margin. Chuck Merriweather, the umpire at second, rings him up. Just quick feet by Peralta, and then the snap throw right on the money. Yeah, just clean the rest of this inning up, huh?
Well, doing the little things. Bunt play, good throw by Peralta. And then he picks off Jaramillo at second. Now if you can get Hinske, you keep yourself in the ball game. Down 3 runs. It's still a tall order, but you have 6 outs to work with, and I'll take my shot with that offense.
And you're in the middle of your lineup. The bottom half of the lineup has been pretty special today too. We mentioned earlier what they had done. At one point they were 6 for 8, 5 for 8, and they're now 6 for 9.
That's a strike.
With a home run, 4 RBIs, and scored 4 runs. They've done a special job at the bottom half.
Joel Peralta working against Eric Hinske. When Hinske, George, came up with Toronto, had that fabulous rookie year. He's really become more of a journeyman, an extra. High and away. In 0-2 with Toronto, he hit 279, hit 24 home runs, and drove in 84. And that's been his best year. I mean, he's had other productive years. He's hit 15 home runs a couple times, drove in 69 and 68 with Toronto. Last year with Tampa, he had 20 home runs, drove in 60, hit 247. But overall, his best year was his first year. So look at Hinske the last 5. Swung on and missed. And Peralta does a nice job in relief of Alan Embry. So we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Rockies trail 7-4. Brad Hopp will lead it off, to be followed by Tulowitzki and then Ian Stewart, who's had a huge night. off against a tough left-hander, John Graybo.
Very good left-hander in 30 ball games. You see it, 31 innings pitched. He's yet to lose a ball game. He's only been out there for one save situation. He's just an 8th inning guy that's very difficult on left-handers. Good velocity, a cutter. He's got a slider that works with it. That fastball misses at 91.
Two and 0. Crowd of 32,137 on a Saturday night for the Rockies at Pirates. And again tomorrow, it's going to be a big Father's Day crowd.
Are all the boys coming to the game tomorrow?
I think it's family day at the yard. Well, it depends.
Well, you got to look. So you got some games in the morning.
We may have a baseball game in the afternoon. Here's the 2-1. That's high, 3-1.
Give him a day early. You bet. Rockies hats on. Watch
ball 4.
Not what you expected Graybo to do, to come in and walk Brad Hott, but you take it any way you can for base runners.
And now Tulowitzki is 1 for 2 in a walk. He has scored 2 runs in the game. This is a very confident offensive club right now. Tulo's average continuing to climb back to respectability. He's going to get a master's degree, George, in burying himself early and then turning in
standard
big
core
months
now, isn't it?
later on in the season.
Huh? Yeah. It does it every year, so don't get all. Everybody gets up in arms. Is Tulo done? Is he hurt? What's wrong with him? One hit wonder, all that stuff. Last year, when he came back from the hand injury, he led the National League in hitting among shortstops at 300 plus.
Yeah, a lot of people forget that because it was such a tough year for Tulo early and then the injuries, but he hit very well in the second half. Fouled that off, 1 and 2. He had 327 in the second half. And not this time. He's gone on strikes against Graybo. 1 out, and that'll bring up the offensive player of the game for the Rockies, Ian Stewart. In his first at bat, an RBI double to right field over the head of Brandon Moss. His next at bat to right center field. This turned into a triple, and he would score. And then with the game tied at 2, he said, I got to hit one over the wall. He's a single shy of the cycle. The Rockies have 4 all time. Dante Bichette, Nafi Perez, Todd Helton back in 1999, and Mike Lansing in 2000 against Arizona. One and one. That's there also, 1 and 2.
Slider at 84. His fastball set at 91 with his high 3/4 arm angle against left-handers, and he walked top. Looking over in the dugout, see who's next. Gonzalez, another left-hander. There's that hard slider in the dirt. Let's get Stewart.
Graybo with 2 punch-outs, and now Gonzalez will come up. Gonzalez, an RBI single in the 4th. He's 1 for 3. He had a stolen base in the 4th as well. going to drop for a base hit. And now the tying run will come up in the person of Chris Iannetta, who has 9 home runs.
Iannetta has faced Graybo in his career 0 for 2 against Graybo. Tonight, Iannetta with a base hit. He's walked. Right-hander's 244, but that is the side of the plate that he's given up a couple of home runs to.
That's a strike. In terms of raw power, Chris Iannetta's got top shelf raw power.
No question. I mean, when he hits them here, folks, and you hear Drew talk about it, and I talk about it, and it's up onto the concourse in left center. It's not halfway up. Houston Street starting to get loose in case the Rockies do take the lead or tie it with one swing of the bat in the ninth. Come out and pitch the top of the ninth. Otherwise, Peralta will pitch the ninth.
This ball hit high in deep center field. Roll back, and we got a tie game. Chris Iannetta with a bomb to center. How do you like that? Here come the Rockies.
Yeah, how about this, huh? A walk, a bloop single into center, and then a big blast by Iannetta tosses the bat away. He knew it. When it left, that he had gotten it all. He squared this fastball up from Graybo to dead center field. Mentioned earlier, right-handers with 2 home runs against Graybo make it 3.
They want a curtain call right now from Iannetta. Omar Quintanilla at the plate, and the crowd of more than 32,000 calling for Chris Iannetta. Behind in the count. And George, it speaks to what we were visiting about earlier, that 1 through 8 in this lineup, there are guys that can hit the ball over the wall.
A lot of pop, and a little bit at this point too, with 2 outs. And again, this is where Tracy's waiting to see where to use Atkins. And now at a 1-2 count with 2 outs. Quintanilla will strike out. I don't know if he'd take a shot with Atkins there to try to hit the home run off the left-hander. The Rockies have come back and tied this ball game up.
Chris Iannetta with a 3-run home run. A no-doubter to center. 7 apiece. About 440 feet straight away. Top of the 9th inning, the post-game report to follow. Here's Tom Helmer.
I'll tell you what an exciting ball game we've got here. Of course, as always, we'll get you into the clubhouse. Chris is clutch. We'll talk about Chris Iannetta. Also, Hamill and Cycle. We'll talk about Jason Hamill and Ian Stewart's run at the Cycle. Fabulous ball game, but a lot to be played yet, and it's all coming up right after the game, Drew.
All right, Tom, thanks very much. We have to tell you what's been going on. The Rockies didn't have a pitcher out there for literally about 2 minutes. Eric Cooper went over to the Rockies dugout and says, hey, you got to have somebody on the hill. Joel Peralta, I think, George, you've been in this situation. He's going to take his warm-ups. Jim Tracy's going to walk out and get his closer.
That's what I feel like will happen if his closer's ready to go. Because Houston Street was not warmed up at the start of the inning. Jim's looking down to the bullpen, waiting for the cap to come off of Jim Wright to say, yep, I'm ready to go. No, I'm not ready to go. Houston Street is shut down, getting a drink of water, now starting to walk back towards the area. And here comes Jim Tracy out of the dugout. He'll make the change now.
And what the Rockies needed to do there, and it happens from time to time, they needed to get Street more time in the pen, and they earned him about another 20 darts in the bullpen.
Well, and I'm watching Eric Cooper. He's upset right now because the pitcher didn't pop out. Now he's going to make the change. He's disappointed, shaking his head. It's called baseball, Eric. Baseball. Doing the best you can to get guys going and to play the bluffs that you got to play. Guy wasn't ready in your bullpen. Now he is ready. Now you play a little baseball. We're talking about 3 minutes of everybody's time to win a Rockies baseball game. I don't have a problem.
That was great gamesmanship. Yeah, you had to get him more.
Well, I remember Billy Martin sent me out one time, and he said, Goose ain't ready. Go ahead and throw the baseball, and then act like your back's hurt. I said, all right. So I got through 2 pitches. I went, wow, my back. And I just kind of stood out there a minute. Billy, come on, you all right? It's my back. I gave Goose all the time he needed to get loose on the mound. I was off. Goose was in. We won the game.
Whatever it takes. But, Street got up because you want, typically at home, when you tie the game, you go to the 9th, you bring in your closer. But what happened is, Quintanilla was retired on 4 pitches.
Well, Drew, quite honestly, he had Street up before Iannetta came to the plate. But Houston's had some heavy workload. 30 pitches a couple of days ago to get a save. And what happened was he wasn't ready to go. Iannetta on his 3rd pitch hits a 3-run home run to tie it. All of a sudden they go, get it going, you're next. 4 pitches later, Quintanilla strikes out. So now you got to buy him some time. So that's where you waited, held Peralta in the dugout, sent him for his 8, and all of a sudden Street got ready down in the bullpen. He made his way in.
And George, there's different levels of getting ready. I mean, am I right? There's throwing, and then there's, all right, now I'm throwing because I know I'm coming in.
Well, yes and no. Because if you're the 9th inning guy and the game's tied and they tell you to get loose, you're coming in.
No, but initially when he got up, they're down 3.
Right, but he should have been getting loose and going as another base hit happens. You got 1st and 2nd and 2 outs and a big bat at the plate. You got to know that one swing and we're tied and I'm in. And I'm sure that's what he was told when he went over there. Get up, get ready. If they tie it, you're in.
Andrew McCutchen on 1 hop to short.
Yeah, he's fast.
George, I've been watching it. Guess what?
He's pretty quick.
You're right. He's really fast.
He gets out of there. What it's impressive to me is how quick he's at full speed out of the box. I mean, it's like 2nd stride. He is in full speed. Look at this. Wham, he's gone. I mean, how would you like to flick him the ball on the option?
Hey, I read a scouting report on him from a year ago that said he does not get out of the box real well for a guy as fast as he is.
Really?
I think he's cleaned up that area.
Somebody must have showed him the report because he's pretty fast right now.
Niger Morgan's pretty fast also, and he's got 3 hits tonight. 1-1. The Rockies in the bottom of the 9th will have the top of the order. Dexter Fowler, a pinch hitter, because the pitcher spot is the 2-hole where Barmes formerly occupied, and then Todd Helton. Held up 2-1. Hey, George, let's give an attaboy to Joel Peralta. Two-thirds of an inning. He kept it a 3-run game.
Bump play, pickoff, and a strikeout. It could have been in trouble because a runner on second with Hinchke at the plate. Their biggest pinch hitter and RBI guy off of the bench.
And another base hit for Morgan. That's a 4-hit night for Nyjer Morgan, who was hitting below 200 over his previous 10 games till tonight. And now you have Freddie Sanchez, their best hitter, at the plate. Of course, Morgan with 16 stolen bases.
I think they give him a couple of shots through to try to steal the base, hit and run, something to move him around.
This has turned into quite a Saturday night ball game. Second time that Morgan has produced 4 hits in a game. Freddie, an RBI double in the third. 1 for 3, also a sac bunt. Seven, top of 9. There goes Morgan, and it's fouled off. He shut it down. He's done that 3 times tonight, George, and I don't know if it's a bluff,
he's just trying to trick you.
Or he's spinning out.
He's just trying to trick us. That's all.
He's succeeding.
Yeah, he is. I mean, it acts like he's getting ready to steal second. Here it is. Boom. Okay, I'll stop. Knock it off, right? Either go or stop. One or the other.
I'd prefer he didn't go.
I don't know. That is about 1.7, about 1.85, 1.9 right now, so I'd like to challenge.
Say if he's 1.7, move over Pudge Rodriguez and Johnny
Pudge
Bench.
in his great day, 1.75. They've actually had Iannetta 1.82 before. National League scouts have. Very good catch and throw behind the plate.
0-2. If your windshield's damaged, call Colorado's #1 team, Elite Safe Light Auto Glass, 303-287-5000, online at safelight.com. Freddie's hitting 11 of his last 12 games, behind in the count, 0-2. And this is fouled off. That's what a good hitter does. Sanchez won a batting title a couple of years ago. First second baseman to win a batting title in the National League since Jackie Robinson. Helton holding on Morgan. You ever see that play work, George, in the big leagues? The first baseman left to throw back to the pitcher and put the tag on.
Sure have. I've seen that, and I've seen him like chase the ball in the dirt. They catch and they make about 7 moves off the bag, and then reach back, or a big move back, reach back, and get him.
Yeah, that's a college play.
Well, it worked at the big league level too. Well, if you got a group of 25 or more, you can receive a discount on pricing, scoreboard recognition, and other great benefits. 303 Rockies for your group and a special pricing at the ballpark. Doug, you all right? Doug's back here like stretching and getting loose. You getting ready to go hit or something? You gotta go pinch hit?
Is that where we are? We got to go to Dougie?
No, not yet. We still have Atkins, Phillips, Spielborgs, Smith.
We were looking for Dougie in the 22nd inning in San Diego, though.
For food.
Yeah. You see Morgan right now? That's why I know you have great respect for what Ricky Henderson did. You beat up the body if you're a base stealer.
Well, a lot of guys, you're right. See, that's
pitch out.
On a 1-2 count, smart play. Why not?
Check with the dugout. And here is the 1-2. There goes Morgan. Swung on and missed. Throw to second. And it skips into center field. And Morgan's going to move to third. Quintanilla did the best he could, trying to lean on him a little bit. It's going to be an error on Chris Iannetta, allowing Morgan to get to third.
And his second one on Iannetta on the season. Let's look at the throw down and see where Quintanilla got to this baseball. He's trying to straddle the bag. It shard hopped so much out in front that it made it difficult for a pick to do it. They're going to go ahead and walk LaRoche and go after Andy with a couple of outs.
Well, go right on right. It puts the slider more into play, doesn't it, George?
Absolutely it does.
Chris,
go back all these packets that Drew and I get prior to ball games. Well, guess what? Jim Tracy has it with a whole lot more information than just this. And so when you start to look down through it, you start to look at those matchups, right on right, left on left. For Houston Street, right-handers have hit 258. Left-handers against Houston Street have hit a $188.
Yep. Well, they'll go after Andy, the third baseman.
That's the right
He's 2 for
baseball
4 tonight. The Dodgers, George, now leading 6-2 in the 9th inning against the Angels.
So big brother beat little brother.
Looks that way.
Well, a meeting on the mound here defensively in case there is a double steal. This is a good thought process of Jim Tracy because of the speed at third base, that if LaRoche takes off, then let him go. Don't even make the throw down of any kind. Let's just eat the baseball. Minimize any kind of an effort by Morgan to try to steal a base to get to home plate. I think it's important to emphasize. Obviously, a lot of things come into your mind. All right. You've got to be, Iannetta's got to block the slider and keep it in front of him. It can't be a sweep tag on it. I mean, it's got to be or sweep catch on it, a backhand type catch. That's number one in your mind when you pitch the baseball. But number two is let LaRoche go on down. Don't worry about it. You're right now you're worried about the guy at the plate. By the way, Drew.
Yeah.
This doesn't pertain to this game. We'll wait just a minute and see if we can get out of this mess. I'll tell you in a second.
Ball one on Andy LaRoche.
Big brothers versus little brothers in 20 major league matchups. 11-9. The big brothers ahead.
Pretty close though.
Very close.
First and third, 2 outs, top of 9, tied at 7. That's a strike. Andy LaRoche, 2 for 4, 2 runs scored. He led off the 8th with a double.
Boy, just the momentum side of this thing. The Rockies will have their leadoff man, Dexter Fowler, going. Chavez warming up in their bullpen. Get out of this thing.
Deep short. Tulowitzki to Quintanilla. Houston straight bounce off the mound. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. The Rockies looking for a single run. Com. Grab your bag. It's on. By Comcast Digital Home Phone Service. Warm up to unlimited local and long distance. Call 1-800-COMCAST. By Big Brothers Big Sisters. Donate your car and you'll get a free tow at tax break and you'll help change a kid's life. And by Mike Shaw Chevy Saab. Colorado's crossover and SUV headquarters for 50 years. Visit MikeShawAuto.com.
Dexter Fowler will lead off, followed by Seth Smith. This is played right into the hands of Jim Tracy as he talks to other fellow guys. Smith does over here on what is offered by Chavez, the right-hander coming into the game. 29 and a third innings, kind of a 6th, 7th inning type guy. But because they've used up their bullpen of other guys they typically use in that position, Chavez has to come into this game tied at the bottom of the ninth to face Dexter Fowler. The other side of this, there's no more left-handers in their bullpen for them. They're out. Burnett's gone. Graybo's gone. So that leaves Smith left on right. Goes to that favor.
And Dexter loops one foul out of play. Fowler 1 for 4 tonight. Now the right place in the order for the Rockies. Seth Smith, one of the top pinch hitters in the game, on deck. Fowler leading off, and of course 2 doors down, Todd Helton and then Brad Hopp. That misses. 2 balls and a strike. Rockies were down 7-4 with 2 outs in the 8th inning. Chris Iannetta behind 1-2 in the count, and he hit a 3-run home run to center field. This ball's popped up to left. Nyjer Morgan. 1 out. Well, with the Rockies hitting that magic number of 7, go to Taco Bell tomorrow between 4 and 6 in the afternoon. Get your tacos, 4 tacos for $1 with the purchase of a drink. It'll taste a whole lot better if the Rockies can end up with a W tonight. They have come from behind this year on a couple of occasions when they've been down by 3 runs. 3 times, in fact. The last being June 12th against Seattle. Here's Smith.
Josh Fogg will be the next pitcher for the Rockies. This is in Houston Street spot that they're hitting.
Oh, 2.
There's Josh. Houston Street worked the 9th and got him here to the bottom of the 9th with a tie score.
Smitty pulls it in the hole. What a shock. A pitch hit, base hit for Seth Smith.
And everybody's thinking, you know, golly, you got to get him in the lineup the way he swings. He'll be so valuable late in games with base hits and his ability to pinch hit. It seems like one right after the other. Fastball up into the zone. And he just turns on it, shoots it between LaRoche at first base and Freddie Sanchez. And now you're in the meat of the order with no left-hander in their bullpen, Helton and Hopp.
He's 9 for 21 pinch hitting this year. Helton takes ball 1. Smith, pretty good speed at first. Helton, a pretty good bat at the plate. Todd 1 for 4 tonight. 2-0. How about the job the Rockies have done, George, behind in the count late in this game? The Iannetta home run, and now Smith on an 0-2 pitch.
Very good job of hitting and staying with pitches and believing he can do something with them. Oh, that was a little late call there by Cooper.
Ball was on the way back to Chavez when Eric pumped his right arm.
Yeah, that was a little late. Helton let him know about it too. I mean, typically right now is when you hear an umpire call it. And then that's really late. Ball seemed to be up.
Yeah, and usually if it's above the mask or mask high, it's a ball. Oh, deep right field. Roll back. Touchdown. Walk-off 2-run blast. And the Rockies win it 9-7. Is there a team hotter than Colorado in all of baseball? Jump into the box pit. Boy, is this fun. 9-7 Colorado. Todd Helton in the bottom of the ninth. Walk-off two-run shot.
You look to see their catcher set up on the inner half, and the ball run back, and it's up into the zone. Hit off the bat. Helton knew it. He just wanted to enjoy it. And a flip of the bat over towards the Rockies dugout, and it ends up into the bullpen of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Folks, I don't know about you. Todd Helton, 9 home runs, 48 RBIs. It looks like Helton of old when you need a clutch hit to win a ball game. High fives to Hill and around the bases for a very happy run for Todd Helton. He knows when he gets to third and heads to the house, it's going to be special. Owner Dick Mumford pretty excited for his ball club right now.
That was a no-doubter. The Rockies, with 2 outs in the 8th inning, trailed 7-4. About 15 minutes later, they win it 9-7, 32,000 standing. Nobody's leaving. And they're cheering Todd Helton right now because he's down with our Alana Rizzo. Alana, take it away.
All right, Drew, thanks very much. Todd Helton, that one a no-doubter, the perfect opportunity to just take us through the pitch.
Well, I thought the pitch before was a little bit up. I figured he was going to come back, and he did. He just got it down a little bit, and I was able to put a pretty good swing on it.
You know, so many times we've talked about this week how this team expects to win when they come to the ballpark. It certainly seemed like that tonight, a game in which you guys had to grind to get the win.
We did. You know, Chris had a great at-bat, hitting a 3-run homer just to get us to this point. It's a good ball game to win.
15 out of 16. What has been the biggest difference for you guys in the last couple of weeks, Todd?
Probably starting pitching. You know, they're keeping us in the game. There's no really big innings, so we're able to battle back, and you know, kind of like we did tonight.
Last question for you. You mentioned starting pitching, although tonight the starting pitchers had to, and the bullpen too, had to ask the hitters to come in and pick them up. Is that just kind of what's going on with this team? You guys helping each other out?
I mean, that's what good teams do. Sometimes, you know, we're not going to hit, and sometimes we're not going to, you know, pitch that great. But we just got to go out and battle every night, and we did that tonight.
All right, Todd, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, guys, back to you.
I'll tell you what, another special moment. Todd acknowledging the crowd. The Rockies come all the way back, and Todd Helton, the hero tonight in the bottom of the 9th inning. That loud, unmistakable sound. The Jimmy Johns delivery of the game, a walk-off 2-run shot for Todd Helton. Just another grand moment in a remarkable career. And what a remarkable run right now for the Colorado Rockies. 15 wins in their last 16 games.